like they don't want nothing. Oh, bro, I
That's
forget it.
What's up,
crazy.
everybody? My name is BMax78, aka Brand. This is episode 91 of the Anime Dojo. I'm alongside Chris and Deon. Gentlemen, how you doing?
What's good?
What's
We have a couple things again tonight. We have the chart and we have the episodes. But there's not much news this week in the anime world because most news is kind of early January. We're getting late in the month, February starting. We might get some like Valentine's Day stuff as that period starts in middle of February. But I had a question. This question came to me when I was hearing people talk about the last episode of Sakamoto Days, and it kind of gave me a little cause for pause. So let me explain to these gentlemen and to the fans out there. A lot of people were annoyed that Sakamoto Days has skipped from chapter 1 of the manga to chapter 4 of the manga up to this point. So in the US, we've seen the first 3 episodes, technically, or first 2. I think it's first 2. And a lot of people are like, we're missing bits and pieces in the between that we didn't get from the manga. So some more dialogue choices, a character we technically don't meet from the chapter 2 of the manga, and some other small things. But my thing about this is, and people are like, they want to make the show a true shonen, mainly fights, minimal story. The story is just there to have story there. Before I go on my whole rant about this, I'm gonna ask this to Deon first. Deon, what do you think about the fact that I put it in a little notes like what should they do to fix the genre? But more specifically, I think what should they do to fix shonens that have a lot of action, but they still have to tell the story in a certain way? Because I don't think Sakamoto Days is doing bad. I don't even think Solo Leveling's doing bad with how they do their storytelling. I just think people want everything in the show, and you can't have everything. So, what do you think about that?
you said what can they do to fix it? Nothing.
Not fix it, but like I
Don't
think not
don't
fix
change
it, but
it.
like don't
What?
like make it more accessible to people. I think a lot of people are just taken aback by it.
Man, different strokes for different folks. Go watch you know, slice of life animes. And you want story? Go get that. Go watch Magic Maker. Like you want story, right? What? DBZ is one of the longest running, hardest hitting animes in the entire world, and it has no story. None. Name the story of Dragon Balls. Any. Z, Kai, GT, like any of them. Name the story. GT had a little bit, but it's not even canon. So, what? Hunter x Hunter. The bare minimum of a story. Demon Slayer probably does it very well. I'm not going to say the best, very well
Mhm.
by having a story to tell. But there's different strokes for different folks. You leave my bloody, gory stuff alone. Leave my fight scenes alone. Leave things alone, or you're gonna end up with an anime like Bleach,
Explain
where
for Chris.
and don't get me wrong, I love Bleach. Bleach is my
Yeah.
top 5 favorite
Oh
animes
yeah.
of all time.
Absolutely.
But when you have an anime that's mostly action fight scene based and you try to cram a story in there, you end up with a lot of empty space and awkwardness. You end up with a lot of things that are left with questions and a lot of like plot holes and loopholes and stuff. Look at Naruto. Naruto was one of the longest running shonen animes. And look how much filler is in Naruto. That's them trying to cram a story into this action packed, drama based, yes, it's a drama, action packed, drama based shonen instead of just getting to the nitty gritty and letting it go. Like,
And I'm gonna point this out, ladies and gentlemen. You can see Deon's camera. You see in the right hand corner of his screen, he has the Luffy hat background. One Piece is on that list of things that do filler to add a story. Like I said, I'm gonna wait till I do my rant for this. But
Oh,
yeah,
he got a rant.
this is gonna be interesting. Chris, go ahead. So I'm not saying fix, but I'm saying more or less make it where you can still have a story. Because the funny thing about Sakamoto is a lot of people think there's no story because they missed the character. We're not getting the tension between like him, his Sakamoto, and his wife, because that's a little bit longer of the story. The fact they don't build up, technically they do build up the two characters we've already met. Somewhat, there's a story, there was story there. So that doesn't make sense. But at the same time, they're like, why didn't Netflix jump from chapter 1 to 4 and skip 2 and 3? Go ahead, Chris.
Sound like you had to get that out the systems.
Yeah, well, I have a lot more to say, but I'll start.
Well, I put it this way,
Is
bro.
there any beef with the Straw Hat Gang? Hold up.
No. I think this is just Sakamoto days. I don't think this is dealing with like One Piece. I don't think this is dealing with anything like you mentioned Naruto, Bleach. I think it's just dealing with Sakamoto days because I think people are like, wait, you showed us 3 episodes, we've gotten a major fight in all 3, but they've had the context where all the fights have been loosely based on him trying to get assassinated because he went to a married life and is trying to settle down. And they're like, that's the story for this? Huh? Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
All right, so I'm gonna break it down to like this way. When it comes down to it, it goes back to the almighty dollar or the almighty yen, the almighty currency, bro. Because I'm sure you could make an action-packed show that that has drama, but if you can't sponsor a company to make 45-minute episodes for a 12 episode season or vice versa, then yeah, you're going to cut it down to what's going to give it the best views and and make people want to keep watching it, so that way you can afford the same people to do it again another time. I mean, there's got to be some yin and yang to everything. Now, now that's the logical side. Now, my emotional side that says, bro, would you want to mess with my action show? Because look, so this other show did it like, what show were we watching, Brandon? I was like, yeah, we were watching the other show that we were going to watch tonight, Solo Leveling, and I was like, this gives just enough story just to give it suspense, which gives off an entirely different emotion that I have not had in any other show in years. All right, so my question to you, Brandon, is what or how much is a good writer? How much how are these students? How are these new studios going to have good writers for these animes? Because that's what it's going to come down to.
I think that's the other thing about this. If you're telling me Sakamoto that didn't do the bare minimum story, they did technically. We get the whole flashback. The fact that he tells him, "Why are you covered in blood?" Oh, I bought you. That's why I went back to my presents. Well, if you're gonna be with me, you have to stop being a hitman. Then she jumps off the building. She thought the fall was higher, by the way. Almost thought she was gonna kill herself. And he ended up saving her, and they fell in the snow. From that point on,
Spoiler.
Sorry, I'm explaining. I had to explain a little bit. That's the part I have to explain. That's the story part of it. That's a story part of it because they explain that straight up. And here's the thing: is it weird that we don't get to see all characters sometimes? Yeah, no. They don't always adapt every character from every show. They might skip characters, but I show them later down the road. The other big thing about that, Solo Leveling is a good example of that. I have to give them some credit. The first season, they did a very good job keeping story intertwined with all the fights and giving a reason why he's doing half the fight. So if you want somebody to write a story straight up from page to page to make a show, go right ahead. The problem is, let's say that second episode didn't have the fight it does in Sakamoto Days. That second episode is just a bunch of story, and people are like, "Where's our action?" So what do you want? Do you want a story-based show like Deon said? Do you want a drama, or do you want something with some action and fighting and actual stakes? Pick one.
Can I ask a question?
Uh,
Why are you mad at this, but you're not mad at One Piece?
Fair, but I think here's the thing. One Piece made the original show and has kept the original show the same way.
Nah, bro.
Only-
Y'all got the manga.
True.
Why are you
but
mad at one? Why are you mad at Sakamoto Days for cutting to the point? But y'all talk so much trash about One Piece. Keep it
That's it.
consistent, man. Keep that
That's
same
it.
energy, bro.
Don't say y'all. Mm-mm.
I'm
I
just
kept it
saying,
real.
I'm speaking in general of the general public.
in general public. I know what you meant. I know what you
You know,
But-
and Brandon. But keep that same energy.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I'm
Nah, it's
speaking
too
for the other
much
to
when
one
you,
third of the
it's too
people.
much when you put the story in there. All the story and make it so much. It's too much. It's too long.
But here's the thing. At least the fact of that is the fact that Netflix ended up making a version where it's going to take out all the filler. Which here's the thing. I don't think the filler's bad. I don't think it's terrible. But I'm never going to catch up. That's the other thing. I will never personally catch up in the way like somebody would if you're going to binge it yourself.
It ain't my fault you ain't started when the OGs did. I've watched it twice now.
A lot of people have probably.
And they just gave you 4 months, bro.
They give you 4 months. That's true. They've gave you breaks in between. They have done that. I just think it's more interesting. I think it's more funny. But also, here's the other part of that. Here's the thing. One Piece kind of can get away with certain things like that because their animation is amazing. The other thing about Sakamoto Days, which I think is also stupid, I think it's so stupid, is the fact that people are dogging the animation for the show. Which I'm like, what you want? Did you want something solo levels? Did you want something so crisp you could like a movie quality? No, that's not that type of. That's not this type of show. And I also think too, and it's a problem we did it with Solo Leveling. We're doing with this. Sakamoto has got hyped up by fans who've read the manga and hoped it was going to be the exact same. What do you expect? Nothing's going to be 1-to-1. And I'm slightly going to be interested to see the next couple generations get into anime. Whoever, if you want, if somebody shows you it as from the old generations or you've done it yourself, and what's going to happen to the shonen genre. If the shonen genre starts becoming a drama / shonen, it's going to be very interesting. Or is it going to go full shonen and no story, just all fights?
That part.
You think the
No,
second?
I feel like it's gonna stay consistently what it is now. Getting worse, progressively worse and worse, and having a few good stick out, few good seasons, and then the rest of the year is just gonna be trash. And you know why? Like what Chris said, where are we getting these writers from? We're not.
Yep.
If you notice, there's no more good and original anime coming out. Everything is manga pre-based.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
We
Thank
don't
you.
need good writers anymore. We just need creative directors who can make the manga come to life or make the manga come to life. That's why we started pushing so many more mangas now and webtoons to become anime because there's no more originality. It's just like music. It's just remakes and remixes of everything, and there's nothing original and nothing good anymore.
It's also, if you want to go down that hole, no, I absolutely follow you on that. Look at video games, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a video game fan. There's nothing original under the sun anymore with video games, and yet it's probably one of those. Not the last, I think the last couple of years. This year's gotten better. The last couple of years, you had remake after remake after remake of older classics because they had made money prior. So what do you want to do? It's eventually going to be the problem of I'm all for adapting a story, but make something fun, make something new. I don't know how you do that. I it, it boggles my mind, and I have to give these two gentlemen credit, both these gentlemen credit, because I was pretty new at the anime world until Chris showed me stuff like Akami got killed, until Chris showed me Classroom the Elite, until Chris showed me Assassin's Classroom. But you can tell those stories had passion and a heart behind them. And I'm gonna say this: if you're saying there's no good writers anymore, here's my question then. If you're only wanting, if you're thinking it's only creative directors, what does that tell you about people who want to get into writing, who want to actually write original stories? Because that tells me you're just gonna try to find the most cool, flashy thing to use for your next show. And TV's kind of got a lot lackluster because of it, because it's the same thing over and over again. I feel like now I'm gonna say it's, I hope this doesn't happen, but I have a hunch it might happen. I feel like in the next 3 to 5 years, I see either isekais or dramas or drama slash slice of life being the top anime genre for most people in 3 to 5 years. And
And you
shonen's
know what
gonna
I'm gonna
shonen
say to that?
go
You know
what?
what I'm gonna say to that? The person that you're thinking of that's gonna make that show probably is still in preschool right now.
You're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong. I I don't know. I just it it also kind of thinks it also kind of an issue. And I know Kaiju no Break didn't get the all. It got a lot of the hype. Got a lot of hype when it came out. But Kaiju no Break had the same thing. A lot of people were like, "Where was the story in Kaiju?" Well, the story's right there. Yes, there's a couple of but everybody looked at the action. The action was the first thing everybody looked at. There was a story there. It's not the strongest. It's not a super strong story, but it is a story.
There's always a story. It just depends on how well you want it to be played out. You can't create something without a plot anyway. It's up to you to accept the development of it. Look at Akame got killed. There's no real storyline there, but it's acceptable because they believe that the anime is good. The anime is worth it. There's no real storyline. The kid from a weird village comes and now he's an Assassin's Guild person.
If you really think about it, it's the only anime. And Brandon, you like recognize what I'm saying. It's the only anime where the protagonist dies and does not come back.
Spoiler.
Well, that's a 10-year-old, that's a 10-year-old or 15-year-old anime at that point. At this point,
It's a sleeper though. No,
yeah.
but I mean, there's a couple, but you have to look at anime like that as being once in a lifetime. Um,
Okay, okay.
because of how bad it is, it's so good. And I only say it's bad because if you were to write a column of what a good anime has, a plot, main character energy, just everything that you believe a good anime has. An anime like I Can Make Got Killed probably doesn't check off maybe 4 out of 10 boxes. So if you look at it like that, yeah, it's a bad anime. But if you watch it, it's a good anime. So
Yep.
if you're watching anime and you're like, oh no, it's gotta have a story, it's gotta have good main characters, it's gotta have, a great protagonist and antagonist combination, it's gotta have a good side B character, it's gotta have a great world building, it's got stuff like this. Good anime doesn't check these boxes. Good anime may pick a box and perfect it, and they might add one or two more to it. I'm gonna speak on Dragon Ball Z again. Dragon Ball Z has great character building.
Because that's what the show is
Everything
based
else
on.
is trash.
'Cause that's all
Everything else
Dragon
is trash.
Ball focus on is character building. That's all they focus on.
With 60 million characters from 60 million planets, you can probably only tell me three:
Yeah.
Vegeta, Namek, and Earth. Argue me if you want to. You can't even tell me the race of 90% of the characters. You know Saiyan, you know human. There's you can't even tell me how the Frieza race got mixed up with the Vegetas with planet Vegeta, even though Vegeta was only the prince of the planet for a short time. You can't, like, it has no world building at all.
I'm sorry, but I probably could answer those questions. But yeah,
You can tell me how uh the Vegeta race got mixed up with Frieza?
yes,
Please answer that.
they took over their planet and they forced them to surrender, and that's how they took
Why?
over their because their race are world conquerors.
Why?
Now that it hasn't been explained.
If Russia came and took over America, we know why. It's been something going on for a while. We got one episode where they explained that.
I mean, but no, but wait a minute though. You asked multiple questions after your first, so I
Sorry.
did answer your question.
What? No, 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 no. You gave me a generalization of what. That's like me
No,
saying
but that is that is what was said in the anime. But you know what?
exactly. That's my point.
Yeah,
That's like
we
saying,
know
"Hey,
this.
somebody's drinking water. Why? Because he lifted the glass." No, duh. But why? Why is
Okay.
he drinking water?
Okay. Get back. Let me get back to something because you brought it up, and I think it's the interesting thing about this. It's one of the other interesting points about this. Some shows do character building. Some shows do world building, like Solo Leveling. Some shows do a mix of both, like Demon Slayer. Like I can go down the list. Here's the thing: no show I can think of have combined it all together to make it one, and that's I think the hardest thing about this because, as people always say, something in games I always hear. I think it's funny when you rate a game. When you give a game a 10, most people say 10 is not perfect. It's it's pretty much flawless. But that's on a basis of somebody thinking about playing through it, doing a lot of stuff, looking at the visuals, all that kind of stuff. The thing is, you're never gonna really find a flawless anime that has everything right about it. And the weird thing about that is, I think that shouldn't be the case because I I think with animes that have certain flaws or things they do, way they do things, that's for the anime themselves. And I'm about to do something I don't normally. I hate for saying. I'm gonna hate saying this. Honestly, to me, I would be sincerely happy if we. I would be sincerely happy if we stopped comparing the manga adaptation to the anime counterpart, because ultimately
Yes.
you'll never get a full 1-to-1. Good example. I'm reading through. I bought this whole 11 books, Deon. I can tell you, I bought them on Amazon. But the Force 4. And I'm reading through the first book. And I'm like, And I'm reading through it. I'm like, they did everything from the first book in season 1, pretty much to a T up and from the point they got to where they get to the double dungeon and walk. And I'm reading to the part where they have to go through all the commandments and everything. I'm just like, okay, but they switched it. You can tell where they switched it around and moved things around to make it fit better. I wouldn't want when I'm reading. I'm like, I wouldn't want this 1-to-1. It is one. I'm thinking back from the first episode. It is kind of 1-to-1 when he goes through a double dungeon, and it's pretty much 1-to-1, except for a few. I think up to a point. I think I'm at that point after the fact where they're about to do the little where he's about to land on thing, destroy, get killed.
Close to the
Yeah,
rise part.
yeah, where he's about to get the system coming up and stuff. But I mean, like up to that point, like everything's 1-to-1, but you can tell they took liberties with them things, and you can tell how they took liberties because you can tell they switched up how characters move and act. Ultimately, to me, I want to see a day, and I know this will never happen because they're not going to do it. I would love to see a day where they go, all right, we'll make this new anime. Oh, here, use the manga version. We'll consult the manga version. We won't fully use it. You know why? We're gonna do it in a way that's still gonna get the story across from the manga, but don't do the manga one.
It's not gonna happen.
I know.
And you know why?
Go ahead.
Because the community is not gonna let it happen.
That part.
But that's so.
Because it happens with movies. It happens with comic book movies. They chew them apart. None of the Marvel comic book movies happen the way the Marvel comic books do. And the actual comic book community chews it apart. I know I'm one of them. But I mean, because as a reader, you envision something in your head itself. It happens with Harry Potter. It happens with Marvel. It happens with whatever. You can write a Snoopy book and watch it on TV, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The difference comes because our creativity in our mind and what somebody's creativity is with their team is never gonna be 1-to-1.
Exactly.
So if you're reading a line that says, Jinwoo walked into the room aggressively and turned to his sister and said, I'll always be there for you. You're reading those words, and now you have this impression of how it happened in your head. It's going to be completely different than how somebody else does.
Now let me tell you the opposite of this, because there is one type of TV show that I know did not start as a book or any, but however it can is a this show can only be shown visually, or else it would make no.
Which show is that?
Yeah.
So I can't really think of a show that has a
My
visual.
bad.
No, you're good.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, shows like Star Trek. Those shows they have comics, but but those
Yeah,
comics
they
came
came based
after
on
the
the
show.
original show.
See, because when you talk about something that is futuristic, if you can describe it all day long, but until you show it and then show its function, it does not exist. Because nobody is going to fathom it the same way until it's
Hmm.
shown.
Yeah.
That like and a lot of times people credit the birth of cell phones and smartwatches to Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, they little
Mm,
receivers.
hmm
yeah. That's actually kind of,
So
yeah.
so there are two opposite ends of the spectrum.
I, I also
But
think
it still happens with the same definition. You can't have it
Yep,
1-to-1.
that's
yeah,
it.
you can have the 1-to-1. I don't know what will change. I don't know how it'll change, but I think it's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, from this conversation we've had. It's something that I think it's going to be interesting to see how it changes over the years. Because the other thing I've thought about too, and I don't really, and it's funny, I've done this myself, and Chris, I know Chris said this a bunch of times. I like watching anime first before I read the manga. I watched Spy in the Family. I have a couple of the mangas. I watched Demon Slayer. I now have the full, not the full set. I'm missing like 3 of the mangas. But I usually read them after the fact because I want to see how the book, the original work, had originally wrote it in or written it. On the flip side too, I'm getting the I already got the stuff from the show itself, the visuals, the character dialogue, the acting, all that kind of stuff. So I have that in my brain. And that's not even it's usually not a basis of what I'm gonna read. It's like, okay, I've already seen this. How am I gonna make it? How does it translate to what the original work was? And usually it works out really well. I'm not gonna really criticize the original work because the original work was what they did first. But I ultimately will say this. I think this is going to be something I will be interested to see down the road. I think you don't get this a lot with like stuff like One Piece because the One Piece manga is so big. You don't get it with things like Bleach. You don't get it with things like uh, Demon Slayer for that fact because the way they've wrote those in, they're pretty much consistent across the board for the most part. And I think that's the things like they knew what they wanted to write. They adapted. I'm old. I'm the one of you people like, as long as you don't, as long as, and my big thing, story, characters, world building. As long as those 3 are hitting for most shows, I'm not really gonna hate it that much. There's a few exceptions.
I
Match
still
one
have
of
a
them.
lot more animes to show you. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I
No,
still
no,
have a lot more animes to show
you're
you.
good. I know that list. I know that list. But like, Match is one of the few exceptions where I'm like, the first season was good, the second season was pretty enough because the story doesn't fit it, so that fit right. The characters still there, the characters worked, but the story was kind of like, what are y'all doing here?
Hey B, have you ever seen an anime called Seven Seeds?
Nope.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. I've heard of it.
Watch it.
I've heard of it. I have heard of like that. I've heard of Seven Deadly Sins.
Nah, not
But-
seven. Seven
Nah.
Seeds.
I don't know if he ready for that one, bro. That tone in that one changes, like for real.
Yeah,
He might
it's
be.
one of those that I would put under and it's not even that good. I would put under the category of a almost perfectly written anime.
Okay.
Then I would probably start him at Clannad first.
I'll watch that.
Dot hack maybe.
Huh?
Dot hack.
The whole series or just the first one?
The first one. It started getting a little convoluted, kind of like Gundam did. But
I know I've watched all of Clan. I've watched all of there's a couple of yeah. So I've seen like that kind of stuff. The older that stuff I've seen. I've enjoyed it. But,
oh, so you ready for stuff like Cowboy Bebop and Van Helsing and
yeah, stuff like that. I haven't seen. But
Well,
I know all.
he started out. His favorite right now is what's the one, Brandon? Devil May Cry.
I started out with
then
it.
you should watch Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, I started. That's one of the first ones I bought.
Wait a minute, Brandon. Have you seen Black Samurai?
Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai. Thank you.
No, but your cousin wants me
to. Conversation over.
Yeah. Yep. No, I need to. I do need to eventually.
You're a black man who likes
Because
anime. You haven't
but
seen the only black person.
But see, here's my thing. I know of all the references and stuff because I've seen Twitter, Facebook, so I know all the it's like those references have been around for years. Like those memes and stuff. Like so, yes, I do understand the show. I know why it's good. I just haven't had time to.
Do you remember Samurai Jack?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I love Samurai Jack. I love Samurai Jack. Cartoon Network.
Okay. It's Samurai Jack was written by an actual black person.
Yeah, that's what I figured it
'Cause
was. That's what I
nobody
figured it
can
was.
tell me Samurai Jack wasn't black.
Yeah, that's what I figured it was. It was kind of like Samurai Jack style.
I mean,
Nobody
probably not
can
wrong.
tell
You're
me
not wrong.
Samurai Jack.
like Deon, you know the only difference between the two is the headband.
Man.
But we all know who wore the number one headband in that universe?
You know,
Ooh.
oh man, that would be a dope team up. Somebody make a fan fiction out there. Samurai Jack and Afro Samurai team up.
Oh yeah,
But let me.
and they're taking on predators.
Oh wow. Okay. That's a. Oh, we're getting
Call
into
it
like.
Samurai versus Samurai.
Hmm, hmm. Yeah, we're getting to that. That's a thing. I would love to see
And
that.
then
But
for
make that.
shits and giggles, let uh Batman Ninja pop in for a spill.
Okay, that's where you lost.
Him and Damien.
But let me know what y'all think in the comments about this conversation because I think it's an interesting conversation. I don't think there's not a right or wrong answer, but there's different perspectives, and those perspectives should be
Oh,
heard
there's
from everyone.
definitely a wrong answer.
But
Let's not
I
go there.
think
We'll be all night.
we're here all
Right.
night. But I think what I'm trying to say, their perspectives of each person should be heard, and ultimately, if you're on the manga side or the anime only side, it doesn't really matter. But I think you can see both sides and see where they're coming from, and kind of go, okay, what does this show do? What does this show do? And be okay with it. I don't think there's ever going to be a point where everybody's going to agree on ultimately a show that does really well across the board. That's what most people agree on across the board. But I don't think you're going to have all the fan base come together on each side and go, oh, this is really good. Everybody should go see it, kind of thing. Not going to be the case. But yeah, if you're loving Sakamoto Days or you're just kind of not liking it, but you're still interested by it, keep watching it. I think that's going to be the thing. It's going to get better over time. That's all it needs. Time. It's the first time it's been out. This is the first season. They're going to get better at the animation. They're going to get stronger. Look at Soul Leveling. Soul Leveling, the first season, the second season, the animation went through the roof, and it just took time. So that's the big thing. But let me go to this. Let's go to the charts, and this is going to be kind of interesting. Look at the week chart for week 3 for the anime corner because it kind of gives you an indication where my thing about drama and slice of life goes. So let me get into this. So at number 1, we have Toilet Bound went up 2 spots to 1. The Apothecary Diaries came back in chart at 2. Sakamoto Days dropped 2 spots to 3. Soul Leveling went up a spot to 4. I Get Married to a Girl I Hate in My Class went up 3 spots to 5. I Have a Crush at Work dropped 2 spots. My Happy Marriage season 2 dropped a spot to 7. Blue Box dropped a spot to 8. Dr. Stone went up a spot to 9. And Tying the Knot with Malcolm and Sister went up 3 spots. Chris, what do you think about this chart?
Bro, I'm up withhold everything I say about both of these charts until we read both charts because yeah.
All right. In that case, then read the other chart for me for the top.
No, get Dion's opinion first, bro. I got to prepare myself, bro, because
Okay.
my feelings are hurt.
Okay. Go ahead.
Are we asking my opinion on this chart?
Yes.
Confucius says people are very picky and they know picky good things.
Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and read off the top 10 of this next chart. You ready?
Yeah.
1, Apothecary Diaries. 2, Solo Leveling. 3, 100 Girlfriends. 4, Sakamoto Days. 5, Shangri-La. 6, I May Be a Guild Receptionist. 7, Orb. 8, Zinshu. 9, Dr. Stone. 10, A Beer Cat to Villainous.
Can I ask y'all both a question while y'all looking at the list?
Uh-huh.
It has nothing to do with anything. I'm just curious, kind of to gauge the pressure of the list. Where is Magic Maker on these lists?
Ooh. Look for you.
Is it under any other name? Because it is not on this one at all.
See it on.
I don't know if that's a Japanese thing. How to make magic in another world?
There we go. Thank you. Don't like this, Deon. 42.
42.
Yeah.
It must be
Isekai
similar.
Maho.
Who?
Isekai Maiho. That's the Japanese name.
Yeah, it's not on this one at all. And
Okay.
it has the top 30.
Okay.
Why do you ask the question?
Because Magic Maker is a very decent anime. Probably middle of the row.
Okay. I see. Okay.
So based off of where that one is, kind of lets me know where people's headspace are on what they consider to be a good anime.
It's a good example.
Kind of like how Dungeon People was.
Yes. Yes.
It's the magic version of Dungeon People.
Okay.
Wholesome. Like it's
the big thing here, if you think about it, like, and I'll put some honorable mentions. Honey Lemon Soda is at 12. Finger Law is at 15, which hasn't worked the top 10 yet. And then the one I've been watching, Mapa Zero, or Zoro, I think say Zoro, is at 17. And that's interesting because you think Finger Law's been doing well, but Finger Law's higher on that list. Finger's higher on the red list, and it's doing a lot. So I can't explain why that's the case. And here it's kind of just it's the bottom half of 15.
Okay. Let me put it this way. My feelings was hurt because, in my opinion, there's no way Apothecary Diaries is beating out Solo Leveling and Sakamoto Days and Shangri-La. Those
oh
three
yeah, I
alone.
see that. I
Okay.
can see that.
Secondly, there is no way 100 Girlfriends is gonna beat out Sakamoto Days and Shangri-La, and I may be a guild receptionist. You got me
Yeah.
messed up with those. Now, see, I'm looking at this chart, bro, and the rest of this chart I can halfway agree with. But that first top 10, oh nah, man, y'all got to fix that.
Nah, that's what I was saying. Like the mindset of the people that's picking this stuff, it's I don't know what to call it, but it's beyond
Oh,
wild, bro.
I did not hear you say. When you read out the Reddit one, I did not hear you say 100 Girlfriends at 3.
Yeah.
I literally went over my head because I'm like, did he say it? I was like, did he say another? I can't know that. I
And
didn't
that's
hear
the
the name you
episode
said.
we watched.
Episode
Yes,
2, yep.
that's the food
Yeah,
episode.
no, they're garbage.
That I don't know how, but see, here's the thing, and it comes back to something we talked about. It's funny. It's gonna be something I didn't mention. I didn't bring it up when we talked about it because I think it was not the. But guess what that show does? And it's something that Crunchyroll hasn't done in a long time.
What, feed to perversion?
Dang, you got my answer for that. Basically, fan service and a lot of it. And it's basically that's the other thing about that. I'm like, I can see it doing well if they keep doing the fan service stuff, and they're doing it.
Okay,
Here's
but Brandon, you know that I know that is not real fan service.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's
That
That's
is
just enough fan service to be able to watch it and let your mom walk in.
mm-hmm. Good example. Even we're watching through. I think it's Ben Moth. I think it's how you say it. The Ben Moth cat thing that has more fan service than more
and it have
girlfriends.
and at least they have some actual character development.
And like world building and actually other. It's just like okay. I can get in Ben Moth I can get past it because they're doing the character development world building. In 100 Girlfriends, I'm like, why are you doing this for the show that doesn't really have any real reason to be there outside the fact he's getting girlfriends down the road?
There's better fan service in Slime.
Oh, absolutely. Like there's, I hate. It's not gonna make the corner chart. I know that the corner chart is not gonna put 100 girlfriends up there. But the
What
Predator
number is
putting
it
up,
on the corner chart? Because I'll
no,
guarantee you, if we didn't have full face heavy hitters up there, it would be up there.
uh, corner chart.
Just like gushing over magical girls.
Hold on.
What show are we looking for?
100 girlfriends
Chart.
on the anime
I
chart.
don't
I
actually
mean, on
think
the
it's
chart.
listed. I actually don't think it's listed.
So that's crazy.
That's actually kind of
Mm-hmm.
funny.
A non-listed anime is number 3 on the other chart.
It's not
See?
listed. It is not listed. That's insane. Okay. All right then. I mean, I, I don't
Something's
know.
not right about that.
But here's the thing. It goes back to the thing we talked about. Look at the facts. On the Reddit side, Apothecary dies solo leveling. Solo level is ahead of Sakamoto days, but not gonna and beating out her girlfriends. The other thing is, I would think Sakamoto Days should be beating out 100 girlfriends, but like we talked about, people are getting kind of annoyed with the animation and the fact that it's a story in Sakamoto Days. So that's not giving people what they want.
Excuses. Uzumaki did great, and it had horrible animation.
Oh, absolutely. I don't disagree with you. I think so. I just think it's funny.
Blue Lock is doing great, and it
That's fine.
has absolutely
There's
horrid.
the other one. I don't know what's happening with the anime world, but I will say this, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about Soul 11 tonight because I'm looking at the comparison. The episode they picked for Soul 11 is the prior episode, and the picture is when Shahi got out of the pool. It's funny. We're about to get something in this episode, which I won't spoil. We'll watch it, then we'll talk about it. That is the reverse for the ladies, and it's like, why did you? And then it's like, oh, you're trying to balance out, but they don't balance out.
Hey, I
They're kind
would
of.
say Homeboy is giving Gojo a run for his money right now.
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. I'm like, I see why y'all did it. I see why y'all did it, but it doesn't compare with Giant. Like you're doing it because you want to balance out the Giant one. I'm like, you're not balancing out
I
the
don't
Giant
know
one.
if he's on the level of Sasuke yet, but he's definitely giving Gojo a run for his money.
So I know, Chris, you have your rule. Before we get up 100 girlfriends, episode 15. We'll get that to a second. Get into that a second. I know you have your rule, Chris. You said you wait till week 4 or 5, 6, or 7, and the charts will solidify. At this point, do you think these charts are going to solidify at all? Because I don't think these charts are solidifying at all by the time we get to those weeks.
I don't know because I want to cast this week out as a fluke on both of these charts.
I don't think so.
Like only next week. Like if like at this point, it's not about finding a concrete lit or concrete. Now it's about finding patterns because
Okay.
because we have gone 2 or 3 seasons with this chart being absolutely sporadic. So now it's time to change up the game plan and start watching patterns.
Fair. And I'll bring this. I'm going to say this now. I said this last couple seasons. Last time we did these charts. It's either going to be Apothecary Diaries or the Toilet one. One of those two will end the season at the top.
No, Apothecary always does good, so
Apothecary always
I
do
can
good.
see that doing.
Apothecary will always do good. But I will say this. I think by the end of the year, I don't think Sakamoto Days will stay in the top 5. And I ultimately don't think. I think Solo Leveling will just barely hit the top 5. Either 4 or 5. Because something's going to come out. Something's going to pass it because of episodes or whatever. And that'll just be the crazy thing that happens. Oh, Sakamoto Days got dropped because, let's see. I married my, a girl I hate. I have a crush on. at work, that kind of some crazy episode. Just something just happens where these charts go. Okay, sweet. You guys talking about it? It's gonna fall off the top 10 for no reason. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. It's crazy to think that dramas are really the thing that are doing so well. And to think about it now, I'm gonna count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of the top 10 for the corner chart dramas. Of course, kind of like isekai, slice of life, that kind of stuff. Only 3 are not. Sakamoto Days, Dr. Stone, and Soul Leveling.
Seems pretty typical.
Yeah, that's kind of more typical. I know I don't think we'll ever see a day, but I think eventually there will be a day where that's all going to be dramas isekais in the top 10. But hey, what do I know?
This
But
reminded me of
Go ahead.
season 1. This reminded me of when season 1 of Solo Leveling came out.
It's weird though. That's the other thing. Solo Leveling comes out when there's nothing else around it, and it still does okay. It doesn't do great. But then if it's another season with a bunch of other random stuff, or with a season with a bunch of heavy hitters, it doesn't try to fight it with any of those because it would lose out easily.
Well, the last time it came out, it was with the number 1 and 3 anime of the year.
So
Mm-hmm.
And it was still fighting for the top 3 spots.
it was still fighting. We'll see what happens. I think it's just the thing of like the corner one more or less for me. The corner one is more people just voting. The Reddit one is more people watching, and you can tell that. But even then, I wouldn't think that many people are watching one of their girlfriends.
Well, okay,
Speaking-
so I'm sorry, Brandon. I
Go
was
ahead.
reading through the, like you said, the one on Reddit is more of a discussion based. So most of them were so the reason their reasoning behind the chart is being what it is because a lot of them are binge watching episodes at a time.
So
This is an older crowd, so they're waiting till 3 or 4 episodes come out at a time, and then they're watching it,
You're
which is
subjecting
causing
yourself.
their charts. Yep.
You're subjecting yourself to binge watching 100 Girlfriends? Okay. All right.
Somebody wanted to wait and watch the first 3 episodes. That's what
I give it to you, but I don't give it to you. Like that's
Well, in this particular case, the reason why 100 Girlfriends came to 3 is because everybody switched and started watching something else. So if you look at the number 3, you see it has significantly less views on it. Yeah, so
That's confusing though. Now I don't trust that list.
I can get it. I get the idea what Chris is saying because it's the older crowd. They're gonna binge watch it.
well, no,
You can
well,
tell.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Look, I was like, I can see where Deon is coming from, like because like it makes the chart now inconsistent.
Yes, it does make.
Yeah, but at the same time, the whole discussion changes every week, so it's the point of view of the discussions on each of the each week that this is put out. So next week, once you read the comments, if everybody was watching everything, you're going to see it. That's why they put the viewer numbers next to the show now.
Sure.
So pay attention to the viewer numbers. They're saying.
And even then, if you're 1,800 to almost 2,000, it's 1,000 more to second place.
Yeah, because they're saying in this case, the reason Apothecary Diaries was number 1 because everybody waited to start binge watching it, including season 1. So of course it's going to get more hype.
Yeah. All right. But I do agree, John. There's a lot of inconsistencies, and you can't trust it all. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So I get up episode 15 of 100 Girlfriends. We watched a crazy episode last week. An episode I think I can't wrap my brain around now. But we're about to get into another crazy episode. I will say this to anybody watching with us.
I'm still not caught up, and I'm going there and blind.
Start
Same
going
here,
blind.
buddy. Same here.
I haven't watched it either because I was not going to subject myself beforehand. I was like, I'll wait to watch this week on and kind of see what happens. I will say this. It feels like with this season for 100 Girlfriends Who Love Me, they're basically going. I'm gonna say a line I don't usually. I said before with Mash. They basically go turn your brain off, enjoy it, and just let the craziness happen.
Nah,
Because I
because
think
with this one, you got to watch them because they'll sneak some.
Yeah, it's too busy for that.
it is too busy. But I think the thing is, the busy stuff is the stuff they want you to actually follow. But everything else around the busy stuff is random stuff that's happening. That's the other problem. So it's like, as y'all focus on the busy stuff, I'm focusing on the main screen. I'm just like, okay, I shouldn't be focusing on that, but I'm locked in. Here we go. I don't know. It feels like they don't know the direction they want to go, but they have to go in. So, but
Well,
in
I
a
mean,
second,
but hold up though, because it's like you got. I mean, okay, the thing to watch out for this show is like they haven't really been forthcoming on any of the characters so much. Like we only know like you can't even call it character building yet. They're just they debuting one character after another.
correct.
So
In a second, I will say 3, 2, 1. Then we'll get going. Gentlemen, you ready?
ready.
Okay.
But
2, 1. Let's go. What does the maid see? Title.
this how it start, bro.
I love how they did that. They do that shot. Why they do that shot? That was not the shot I thought they were starting with. But okay. Wait, this is a girl we've seen before. Oh, this is one of his girlfriends, but this is like the noble one. Really kind of, what the?
There's something that's already off in the opening. I was like, well,
Well, if you look at the scene where they're at the church on the before they got to the in the TV, there's a girl standing on the left hand side that's in like a baseball uniform.
yeah,
I
that's the
think
one I'm talking about.
I think Deon's thing is gonna come true where he ends up raising a whole baseball team. Or like at least a couple of girls. Something's gonna happen with that. Uh, Jeez. Don't tell me we're going that route. Oh, went that route.
Bro, I'm not finna sit here and watch no baby chibi
I don't even know.
spoof of some fan service babies, bro. What are we about to watch, man?
I don't even know.
See,
Yeah.
see, I told you,
I-
told you.
But say what now? Don't do that. Oh, God.
Babyfication.
We accidentally did it. Wait, would be degrading. What are you?
I'm done. Seeing all of them naked, they're babies, bro. I'm
That's
done.
what, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait, does that really matter?
I told you, like, so sometimes this show will go way off the rails and be like, what?
The first season went. I didn't go off this much. Well, it did, but it didn't go off this much off the rails. I didn't get any good point.
Bro, this is
Oh,
not right.
oh no! Oh
This
no!
is not right.
This is terrible.
Are you sick?
I am ready for this scene to end.
Wait, you should let her do that.
Now it's two of them, bro. I'm about to cut this off.
Jeez. Wow.
Brandon,
Yes.
what the heck, bro?
I don't know. I have any idea they were gonna go
You
this.
see what I'm saying? I'm about to cut this off, bro. It's two of them now fighting over. Okay.
All right, that just kind of got. Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, Brandon, you probably should have watched this one before everybody else. And
I didn't think it's gonna get this bad. I did not think it was gonna get this. Oh man. Hey, here's the thing though. We did it randomly, so it wasn't one. It wasn't a thing. I didn't know what was gonna
yeah,
happen.
yeah,
So we
that's
did it
true.
randomly.
This was a random pick.
It wasn't random, wasn't it?
Nah, I ain't letting you off with a free pass. It was on your list, bro.
I didn't. Hey, but I. They didn't say anything
Uh,
about the show. They.
uh-huh.
They did. They did not say anything
It's
about
the
how the show
second
was.
season, bro. Or continuation.
This is madness. This is madness, though. This was not. This is not on my bingo. This is not on my bingo card for the year. Like this is kind of madness for a show like this. wait, wait, what? What are you talking about, the scientist?
Oh, really? Wow. Wait a minute, Brandon. You
Oh,
know I did not watch the last two episodes of the first season, right?
I did. I
Is that her mother?
guess.
Like her blood mother? And why is she in the same harem with her
I
daughter?
don't know. Yes, she. Yes, they explain it. She does. I remember he ends up beating her through a weird situation, and yes.
Nah, see, this is misinformation right here because she obviously stopped doing what she was doing after she had you for obvious reasons.
Ow.
Wait a minute. Okay, that was actually kind of funny.
Are they about to do the thing, Chris? Are they about to do the thing I think they're about to do?
I hope not. Whatever it is, it's like it can't be as wacky as the last scene. Did this? Did this? Man, I was about to start cussing on the show again.
Are y'all still watching this?
Yes, yeah, man.
Trying to power through it. Trying to power through it.
Oh man, I cut that stuff off so long ago.
I don't blame you, Deon. I don't.
Now he about to get the maid too. You got the mama, the daughter, and about to get the maid too.
How did she catch that, by the way?
Bro, yes. How did a flower pot fall out the plain sky? She asked the right question.
I don't get it.
Wait, did she think she was blind?
No, she tried to scare her.
That's what I mean. Oh, what the? How do you have that?
Now, see, why she always got a blade? See, nah, she dangerous.
Huh?
Please no.
Wait, what?
See,
Why would somebody do that? Don't do that.
wow.
Here's the thing. I thought they literally stopped that quick.
This show, man.
Ugh.
Don't most people close their eyes when they laugh?
Yeah, you don't usually open them. Not normally. It depends on how much you're laughing. You can cry laugh, and then you'll have tears coming out of your eyes.
Deon's brain is melting.
Bro.
Beyond the brain, it's like shut off. This is just gotten.
I'm like drooling and everything, brain turned off so much. I
Like,
can't. What am I watching, man? They trying to get a girl to open her eyes. At the end of the day, we all know what's finna happen.
he can touch the maid. He can never mind.
He may or he may not, but we know we gonna get to see her eyes thanks to him. Bam.
Whoa.
Oh shoot.
Okay.
Okay then.
Not the JoJo laugh.
Bruh.
That is a joke. What did I? Why? Wait. So he didn't make the maid fall in love with him. Great.
No, but no, because no, he never touched her hand. He gotta have a physical contact with her. Don't do that.
Wait. What?
I mean, like,
Huh?
did we not see this coming?
Well, yes, I did see this coming, but here's the weird thing. Like Chris just said, he has to touch the person. So are we doing
Yeah,
this
but
straight up?
she's asking for it.
She even says she'll settle being a concubine.
Like,
All right.
we
All right.
knew it some way or another it was gonna happen.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. By the way, I'm gonna make this short and sweet because this is chaos on a whole nother level. This first part of this episode basically was gonna make these high schoolers, giant quotation marks, babies. The scientists had the thing where they could reverse the ages for an hour and do all this stuff. End up one of them, the scientist girl sees a cat. The cat falls. The cat is on the roof with them. She pulls out one of the vials. She's about to put it on the cat. The cat scampers away. The vial drops, explodes. Our main character guy stops the purple haired girl from getting hit by the blast, and everybody else turns to babies. Before this baby scene, though, we get the little backstory about the mom, which is the mom of the daughter that he first met, the girl, the purple haired girl, his first girlfriend, and then just chaos ensues because he's always do these weird things. I'm not gonna explain everything. Basically, just think about what a mother has to do to take care of a baby, and there. Um, yeah. And then they come back from being a baby. They gotta get back to normal. The mom who wanted to do this and after making all the baby clothes wanted to go back to doing it, but they're both like, no, we're gonna do something else. Then they all point to the maid, and the maid was interesting because it was her maid, and this is where the title comes in. What does the maid see? Well, we figured out the maid hasn't opened her eyes in a long time. and we don't know what her eyes look like. So everybody's trying to figure out ways to open her eyes and everything. The scientist is really interested. The scientist girl is really interested because her eyes can be rainbow. It's supposed to be rainbows and all that kind of stuff. Ultimately, they try everything. Even the girl that's kind of like assassin thing was gonna like try to actually like use a retractable blade and like. Oh, that's great. That's a great idea. Why would you do that? Um, Ultimately, when it's working, our main character makes her laugh. Making her laugh opens her eyes. You can see them for the first time. They look like rainbows, which is fair. Then we get this long little thing, basically gonna say that she want a romantic relationship with her main character, but she want to actually go on a date. She want to go through it, and the mom, which is the mother of the purple-haired girl, gives her permission to go on a date where she could be hit with his. They put it as I don't know how they explain it later, but yeah, that's where the episode ends with the narrator mentioning that how this is going to play out. I'm sorry for Chris for this because Deon's brain is fried. Ladies and gentlemen, he's watching this with us. He didn't watch like he's getting through the first season. He's probably wondering what the world's going on. Chris, what the world do you think about this episode?
Bro, this whole episode, I'm gonna tell you right now, is gonna get a 3 because it's a 3 letters that I'm gonna put. It's WTF, bro. From the very intro of the story, it's like okay, and then it just falls off. Like, and it's like, bro, like you in a show of the things that you have already shown, the things that you have already done, why on earth would you want to add babies to this show? I don't get it. Like, I mean, and then like no matter how it happens, like whose brain thought of this? Like this was just a big old cluster of what's that WTF. And I mean I understand they gave the mother a little background, but they even went too far with that, bro.
Oh, that's why I
Like
skipped.
I mean,
That's why I
like
skipped that whole section. I skipped it.
in every avenue that they turned down this show, it just went progressively worse. And I mean, I, Brandon, what you say needs to have character development, world development, and what else?
Character development, world building, story.
Yeah, this one had none of that. This
Okay.
episode didn't have either one of those.
Deon,
Look at you
what?
laughing because you know it's true.
I know it's true. I do. But after Deon, I already probably know your answer. You're probably agree with Chris, but I do need it anyway.
Oh no, he's finna do much worse.
What do you think of this show? What do you think of episode 15 of The Gunner Girlfriend 2 Love Me?
So I cut it off.
I figured that's the case. Actually, yep. You just heard our dialogue.
No, you got babies doing. Yeah, no, that's horrible, bro. Absolutely. No, I mean, it was on, but I stopped really watching. At the end of the day, man, I'm a man of principles. I may not
I know.
have any of
I know.
them, but I stand by the ones that I do. And one of my principles is if it doesn't make sense to me, I can't enjoy it. This show is literally the how do I say this without sounding
You don't. You say it how you want it.
Yes.
this show is everything bad about anime crammed into one thing.
Oh, that's a yep. That's a line. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I have a splitting headache. It is now almost 10 o'clock here. I'm probably about to call it a night, fellas. This has done damage to my cerebral cortex, my pineal gland, my left and right hemisphere. My heart probably can't take another episode of this. My blood pressure is sky high. I need to go take some medication. And my feet feel swollen for some reason.
Got that gout sitting there.
Oh man.
And all I did was sit through an episode of this.
I say we move on to the second show, and so we can revitalize.
Yeah. Quickly.
If I had to rate an episode, this particular episode,
Mhm.
there's not a number low enough.
I'm doing Chris. He's not gonna. Yep. Yep. I'll make this short and sweet. For me, I agree with you, Chris. It's a 3. I think it's funny though how they've done this and how it doesn't work out. It's funny what I'm about to say. It's worse than that. And at least MASH tried to tell a story. This is worse than MASH on so many levels. It's supposed to be comedic. It's supposed to be funny. I get it. I do. But it doesn't work. And like I said before the episode started, when the episode kind of started, we picked them at random. I had on my list. I didn't think it was going to go down this rabbit hole. But that first episode kind of gave me an indication. Oh, it's going down that rabbit hole fast. Okay. But Get Up episode 16 of Still Leveling. We're going to watch that. And that's actually story and development. And kind of cleans your brain of what we just watched, by the way. So in a second, I will say 3, 2, 1, and then we get going. Gentlemen, you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
No,
Okay.
I need a cracker or something to cleanse my palate.
No worries. No worries at all. I don't blame you. You see, but
Oh my god, bro. Like y'all think I was playing. I really do have a splitting headache after watching that episode.
oh no, I knew you weren't. I knew you
Like
weren't.
pressure in my eyeballs.
I knew you weren't kidding because it's just like, and that's the thing it does. This episode didn't do it like the previous one, where you get other things to look at. This episode was just them, and I'm just like, yeah, this is not going to work the way you think it's going to work. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Episode 16, episode 11, season 2. I need to stop faking. Now, I love the fact this picks up right where we left off last episode perfectly. I don't, you know what's funny? He has to get reassigned to get raised. At the point he's at, I wouldn't have gotten reassigned.
Well, no, because I mean he has to take on harder dungeons eventually.
Harder
So
dungeons.
yeah.
It's just also like, does he want to get caught? Because then the big thing I remember, if you think about it, if he does get reassigned, will they figure out, oh, he was one of the Dunkirk thing happened. They can prove all that stuff, which is really kind of.
I mean, it don't matter. They all dead. So
True, except for. Oh yeah, they're all. You're right.
they're all dead. So
they're all dead now. That's actually correct.
Anybody who had any like beef with him is dead. Like
yeah.
Go ahead, get reassessed, bro. Like, who cares at this point?
Still my favorite song of the season. I think it's between this and Doctor Stone. I love
No,
Doctor
Dr.
Stone.
Stone takes the cake, bro. No, Dr. Stone is a win.
But it's also funny. There's not. That's the other thing I noticed. There's not a lot of strong outside of those two. Outside of these two songs, Doctor Stone and this. There's not many other strong like songs. There's a few that.
No, I think Solo Leveling has the #1 outro.
Yes, their outros. That outro's fire. I think it's funny that he stood standing there. He was standing there all day, and just watching people get who's going to get assigned, and might think about this for their guild, but also probably wondering if Deon was gonna, if Hunter Song was going to walk in.
So if you can outmeasure the machine, you're automatic S rank.
Yes, and I actually like the fact they don't do. There's the other trope you could have done where he breaks the machine. They don't do that. They just
But
do it.
But you still don't know how strong.
Correct.
that's what I
No,
was
no.
just about to say. That means once you reach S rank, there's really nobody really knows how strong you actually are.
That's
Correct.
why they always have a little beef with each other
Mm.
because it's like I feel like I'm stronger than you, bro. And even though you S rank, I feel like I could get you. And
Mm-hmm.
it's only 10 of them.
Korea.
Yeah,
Only 10 in Korea. And
bro.
we
But
haven't
that
met all.
means the fact. Nah, bro.
We haven't met all 10 either. I think we've only met 2, technically.
No, we've met a lot of them.
Oh no, that first
We've
episode of
met
season
That,
1,
6
we
of
that's
met
them.
one right there in the red.
the red's the one. That's the thing. So
Uh-huh.
we've met 2. We've met technically 2. The redhead guy is
No,
Chahae.
we've met a lot,
We've
Brandon.
met the girl, the redhead
Mm-hmm.
guy, the one that got killed by Jomo's dad, um,
Oh yeah,
the
The
both the
old
guild
man.
chiefs.
Yep.
Yeah, the guild
Okay.
chiefs. Actually, all 3 guild chiefs, because the
Mm-hmm.
other
Oh
guy.
yes, right. Because we see the president.
So we've met quite a few of them, and now Jinwoo. Yeah, 'cause that's the head of the guild right there.
Mm-hmm. So there's only 2 that we haven't seen.
By the way,
And I
I
mean,
love.
his dad is clearly one of them.
Nah, well, we
His
don't
dad's
know that.
Korea.
No, I mean we know that his dad is S rank, but we don't know if he's part of the original 10 that they know of.
He's
Oh,
gotta be
okay.
though, because that's how they said last time when they fought. It was like, oh, This is what happens when two S rankers go against each other. How do they know he's S rank?
That's true.
Because that's how strong they found him in the dungeon. They thought he was a beast.
Yeah, right. But look at how strong Jin Woo is. They still call him E rank.
So you saying his dad was when his dad was first that says he was S rank?
I believe so.
I
That's
would
how
like to
he
see
ended
him
up in
say
that
that.
dungeon that he disappeared from.
I would like
We'll
to
get
see
more.
him say that because
We'll
I
get more
right
of
Ain't
that.
now,
been too long ago. I mean, his sister ain't too young.
but but
I
but I
I
feel
think
like
they
he might
said
have.
I think they said it's like 5, 6 years. I think he says 10 years when he comes out of that portal. Something like that.
And I was gonna say there we don't know if he walked in the dungeon S rank because he could have gotten stronger too somehow.
Correct.
I doubt it though. Because other than Jin Woo, the only person that we know could get stronger
Yeah, that's
in
right.
a
That's what we
week.
know. That's what we know.
Yeah, but this had to be a strong gate for him to even be able to go into.
Well, we gonna
By the way,
find out.
I love that whole sequence. Jinwoo walks past the head guy who's the guild head and literally just gives him a cold shoulder. I love that.
Oh yeah. Now
That was
he has
cool.
officially given every guild master the cold shoulder except for the old man.
Except for the old man. And the old man once I love.
The
So
Tiger dude, he hasn't come across the Tiger dude yet. The one that just
no,
ran in. They
no, he did.
haven't come face to face yet.
He did after they came
Yeah,
out of the red gate. The red gate.
That
He
wasn't him.
stopped. Yeah, it was.
That was
It was
the
the same
agent.
person.
no,
The,
no, no. The other guy was there because he turned that his beast hand on him, and he still told him to get up off him.
correct. The two agents and him was there. They all waited.
Mm-hmm.
So he's technically met all three. He's gonna meet all three
But he didn't. He shook his hand.
because he told him, "Aren't you gonna thank me to save them?"
Yeah, so that's not the
Mm-hmm.
cold shoulder.
No, but
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
here go the old man.
this is the best sequence of this episode. I love the way they do this whole thing.
see, he actually sat down with the old man.
You don't respect a man who's been the chairman for as long as he has, and also a fellow S rank. Like,
If that's a scar around his neck, that means his head was nearly decapitated at one point.
I love this. Ginyu perks up. He's like, huh? Okay. I love they get it. Oh, there's 5 guilds. It's the first to awaken.
At 80 years old,
Hmm.
and you just now getting to his level. Dang, see, much respect.
Oh,
All men
absolutely.
in anime never disappoint.
Wasn't about the money. old man's heart just like fire. I'll...
That's the only S rank he really ever gave the time of day.
But I think the reason why he didn't come at it trying to get him to immediately join the guild. He wanted to talk first. The other two tried it from the immediate point of like, we just want to get you tied down. So he tried a different approach. Still
So he's
alive.
not dead.
He's not dead. He's still alive, but wounded badly. Not gonna find him again. Technically, Chris, we've already seen Artifact, right? Because Jin Ho was wearing Artifact, right?
I don't remember if Jin Ho was, but we have seen him pull artifacts out of his box before.
Okay. No, I was thinking about the armor
Wait,
that Jin Ho
what?
wears in the first
Yeah, the
season.
armor that he had on.
I think that's
It
considered
was
Artifact.
expensive stuff. That's why they thought he was the one that did it, because he had on the expensive armor.
That's what I thought. So they're actually, they've seen the Artifact armor. We've seen artifacts before. This is some explained what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, every weapon that they use is an artifact too.
Is an artifact technically, yeah. But sound more agreeable.
Yep, not about the money. About
And Gary,
fighting monsters.
he doesn't care about the money. He just want to fight. He just want to get stronger. So if the gun is big enough, they have the mining team get all the essence, and the hunting team will kill the monster. With one snap.
Nigga, who
I love that.
the
Seriously, I'm loving this. He
bro,
literally
I
lifts
need
his
an
eye,
abridged version. I need an abridged version of this.
stares at and goes, "Yep, no."
Hmm.
No, he's not in any rank. I love this.
Bro, because the next episode after this, I just want to know how he gonna get around it. Yeah, I want to know how he gonna get around her.
So
That's
that
my first
ends.
question for the next episode. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're fine. You're totally fine. That ends episode 16 of Soul Leveling. This episode left you with questions, but also left you with an interesting way of handling something. And I'm not gonna do a full play. I'm gonna do a little quick note. Basically, picks up where we left off. We see Juno walk out of the dungeon that he's working on. He's working on the big tower dungeon, and he comes out. He has two of the elixir of life. He wants to figure out what he can, how he can get stronger to get more. But he figures I need to do other raids in our dungeon, but he has to get reassigned. So he goes to get reassigned, but then all three guild masters come to the place he's getting reassigned because they find out that he is so strong that the machine can't read him. Okay, so more that's the first thing. Meets the first guild master, the red-headed guy, walks back and blows him off. He's technically met the second one that ran in after he left. We met after the gate incident. And then the third is the chairman. The chairman sits down and has this conversation with Genu, and it was a lovely conversation. Basically, the gist of it was, I don't want the money. Genu said, I want to fight. And the chairman's heart melted because he just wants to fight. He doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about any of that. He just doing it for. He just wants to get better and stronger. And he says, I'll take the offer, but thank you, and walks off. Then we find out later he joins a mining team. Basically, this mining team goes in after the hunters beat some of the monsters, doesn't beat the boss yet, and collects all the essence. Once that happens, then they'll beat the boss and the gate will close. So he joins this mining team. We find out the chairman looks at his stuff and says he's in E rank, but how? He's super strong. And he talks to the A rank guy we've met before, basically saying, oh, uh, no, he's doing this for his mom, helping his sister through college. And he's like, the chairman says, I've never needed devotion to a young man like him. More young people should have that devotion, which is amazing. Then, so he joins his team. Shaheen and them walk out. Shaheen trying to figure out who's this aura I keep feeling or smelling, basically. And she thought it was her guildmaster. Nope, it was Jin Woo. She kind of walks off so he doesn't get caught. And she's like, okay. And he explained who Shaheen is, basically saying Shaheen, the dancer, is this aura, this presence about her, something amazing, the ninth ranked S rank ever for the country. So they get to the mining stuff, they do all the mining things they have to do, and people are like, he's actually E rank? How? He's strong. He's like a blue collared man, super strong. And then he's like, he looks at one dude that tries to tell him off and just makes the guy scared, freaked out. And then they all went to lunch, and he's like, I'm fine alone. I can go run and see this dungeon boss because he wanted to get to dungeon boss. He wanted to see this gate. So he runs to the gate. He's like, I can't take the boss out. If I take the boss out, the gate will close, and they're going to get mad at me. But I want to poke. I'll just take a poke. He's about to go walk through it, about to open the gate through it. And he stops and says, what are you doing? And so it ends. I'm gonna ask this first of Deon. I hope this kind of cleaned your brain out, Deon, and gave you something interesting to watch. But what do you think about this episode? And what would you give it as a rating? Episode 16. Stop faking for a rating.
Ooh. Um. This is definitely a more information filled um episode, but it was still so good. I just feel like I'm gonna be a little biased because after watching whatever the heck that was we watched first, they could have just showed Jinwoo sitting in a chair in the office for the whole 20 something minutes.
Fair enough.
And I would have been like, this is a 10 plus rated episode. So I mean, my judgment may not be the best, but this is a really well written. Um, it didn't have too much. It didn't have pretty much any action in it. Yet it still felt compelling and drew attention. So Oh, I don't know. It was just a good episode.
Okay. I can't blame you. You say everything we watched first. That's not a surprising assessment. Chris, what do you think about this episode?
All right, erasing the first whatever we watched out of my mind. This show
Ah,
was suspenseful, bro. Like this is the kind of movies my dad and I used to watch with me growing up, my bro. Like it kept like you don't have to have action to have a great show, bro. You can keep the suspense up. Like like you are they have already delivered action sequences for the first three episodes of this season. So the fact that they take a break and then they keep the suspense by having him put up against all these other S ranks off the bat, and it is respect all the way around. Like bro, what kind of suspense? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And then this fight at
Very
the end, bro.
captivating.
Bruh, so just like I said before, bro, brother wanted to get into the dungeon. You talking about the time he said a little poke won't hurt. Yeah, okay, man. And then he get caught by this other S rank, the number 9 seed, I guess. And all I want to know is either A, y'all finna go fight his boss together, or B, you gonna find a way to escape around her, which I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, spoiler alert.
Da da
For
da.
any
I'm
of you
taking my
who
earphone
don't
out.
remember, no, it's not nothing new. It's something old. But for those of you who don't remember watching it,
season 1. Okay.
yeah, we've we've had a potential chance encounter between these two before.
Brandon, give me a thumbs up when he's done giving spoilers.
His first season spoilers. It's not second two. It's not after this season. Oh,
Oh,
you're
he
talking
really
about
took his ears out.
yeah, which is fair. I agree with you. But I know what you're talking about. It's when we first meet Shaheen, technically.
Yeah,
When we first meet her in the crowd. Yeah. That's the
yeah.
first time we could have the but we didn't have that encounter, technically.
So that energy she has read. So for her to be like, I thought the guild master was here. Yo,
All I heard was
she
that little
probably
last
wouldn't.
part, and
Oh,
uh,
it,
and I
it
heard.
wasn't it wasn't real spoilers, bro.
Wait a minute, but the last part I heard, it sounds like the same thing I told Brandon after we watched it on Saturday.
Yeah. About she could feel the guildmaster enough, but she didn't know it was actually
Because 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 earlier in the show he compared his own strength to the Guildmaster. He said
correct.
we about at the
The
same spot.
guild master did too.
Yep.
He said 20 years ago I could have been standing right next to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the
I,
thing is, we know that she highly respects the guild master and does not feel like she can compare herself to him. So,
Hmm.
if she can sense that energy, she not gonna want to squabble with this dude.
I think y'all are both right on both of your accounts. I think what will happen, I think they have a conversation. I think we get that first minute and a half, 2 minutes. He talks his way out of this. Or he talks his way into this where he convinces her that he can come join them when they use it. And that's going to be the impetus of him getting stronger. Or the other thing I could see is I won't tell you. I won't tell anybody you try to come down. Try to come down to the boss. But down the road, I you need to sit down and talk to me why your aura is so strong. That's the other thing I think we get. One of those two situations are happening.
You know
We're
what I
not going
can
to get
see?
okay.
I can see him slide a hand in the way his dagger
Yes.
and going, "Oh, I just wanted to check out the gate. I haven't been in a whatever. That. They leave because now they got to come back after all the mining is done. They leave. His S rank comes back official, and then he joins the raid party of the boss.
They
And
could take
that's
it
where we
multiple.
see them fight together.
There's multiple routes you could take, and any of the routes you talked about is possible. I think the funny part is, like Chris said, this show gives you suspense. We didn't have a fight, but we have suspense, we have intrigue, and we have a little bit of everything. If ultimately I say this now, I give this show like a 9.5. This episode gets a 9.5 easily from me. Easily. Because it's just that well made. And episode 17, I'm looking more forward to than I'm looking forward to our girlfriends. Here's the thing. I'll make it a dinner for the boys. We did pick it. I'll say if we get to episode 5 of 100 Girls, episode 3. If we get to episode 5 and it's still kind of weird by that point, we can stop it completely. And solo thing. If it gets better over that 5 by episode 5, continue doing it till the end. Is that a fair trade?
Okay.
Man.
Because yes, I think it's funny to think about that 100 Girlfriends all just whacked this out. But this solo episode brought us all back. Like, this is what we want from anime. Hands down. But ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 91 of the Anime Dojo. We'll be back next week for episode 92. We're only 8 episodes away from 100, by the way. Yeah, we'll see where this goes. We'll do charts again. Probably a little bit of news. Maybe come out this week and next week, but we'll see. But we'll have episode 16 of One of the Girlfriends and episode 17 of Solo Leveling. I think episode 17 is going to be really interesting. That's the episode everybody's wondering what's going to happen with Chahain and Jinwoo. The first time they officially get to talk to each other. And does Jinwoo conceal his identity? That'll be very interesting as well. But I think if watching this will go up on Spotify after it processes it, and it'll be up on YouTube as of Thursday. But I do thank these guys for joining me. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.